Hey, Coach Anita here, ready to talk to you about why YNAB is the superior budgeting tool for you. So let's just hop right in. So, reason number one that YNAB is absolutely amazing is that it offers you great flexibility when you're budgeting. So, let's just say that this was your budget and electricity. Let me move myself a little bit over to the side, or actually make me a little bit smaller. So let's just say that electricity was your jam, and but this month water is a little bit higher than electricity. YNAB gives you the capability to move money around very seamlessly. So let's just say you need $35 for water, you want to pull it from electricity. You just simply tell YNAB you want to move $10 to water and click OK. And that just moves the money around in your budget. So that flexibility is key because we all know that life happens. And if you create a static budget at the beginning of the month, chances are that you'll remain on that budget are very, very slim. Reason number two, it's an active budgeting tool versus a passive one. So when I think passive budgeting, I think mint.com, meaning you kind of set it and forget it type of budgeting. YNAB isn't like that. YNAB is very active and it requires you to take an active part in your budgeting. So, for example, if you get over here in checking, let's just say a transaction from AT&T comes in, it's gonna automatically prompt you and say, hey, this needs a category. We don't know where to pull this money out of your budget, so let us know what this category is. And then you'll double click on it and you'll let it know, oh, hey, that was for my internet. Cool. And you save it. So it's a very active approach to budgeting that your other tools may not have. The third reason, it makes prioritizing with zero-based budgeting the standard. So if you're not sure what zero-based budgeting, it's a very common budgeting approach. Dave Ramsey kind of coined it and made it big, but it's this idea that with every dollar, every cent that you receive, you are going to be extremely intentional about where that money is going to go and what job that money has. So, for example, you're no longer thinking, hey, I'm just going to see what's left over at the end of the month and that'll be what I save. You can't do that with zero based budgeting if you're following the rules, of course. You have to be intentional and make it a part of your plan at the beginning of the month or whatever the budgeting frequency is. And you say, hey, I want to put $125 towards savings. And you're going to budget everything out until there's zero left at the very end, until you run out of money. So literally every dollar, every cent. And so this popular budget method is a great one that a lot of financial coaches swear by because it forces people to be aware of everything that they want to do with their money. And YNAB, fortunately, the way that they do their tool is wrapped around this very popular budgeting method. The fourth reason, it of course links to your bank account because really in this day and age, what tool would you use for your money that you can't link to your bank account? But it links to your bank account. But the cool thing is it also allows you to manually enter in transactions as you spend. So what that means is you don't have to wait 3 days, 4 days for a transaction to come over from your bank and hit your budget. You have the option to go in and manually input that transaction on your own. So you just add a transaction. Let's just say we went to Chick-fil-A. We want to pull that out of the eating out category of our budget. We spent $5.63. We just got a sandwich. And you save it. And so that automatically is going to hit your budget because you entered it in, and your eating out category is going to be impacted. Let me find it here. Yeah. So you see it is automatically impacted. We didn't have any money in this category to be spending it, so we probably shouldn't have been going to Chick-fil-A, but that's a whole nother story. But it is already impacting your budget. You don't have to wait until the bank brings that transaction in for it to be deducted from the money you set aside. The fifth reason that YNAB is so great, it forces you to only budget the money that you physically have in your bank account. So as long as you keep things reconciled, you keep all of the numbers on the up and up, the amount of money you're going to have in YNAB is only going to be the money that you have sitting in your bank. And the reason why this is so important is because a lot of people, when they create their budget, they create it off of their paycheck amounts. So it's like, oh, this month, I'm going to get paid X amount of dollars. Let me make my plan for X amount of dollars. You haven't received X amount of dollars. And so this is kind of monopoly money per se that you're making a plan with. YNAB does a really good job with saying, hey, how much dollars total do you have in your possession? That's what we're going to make a plan for, not the future money, which is extremely awesome. So if you're playing around with YNAB and you're like, is that really true? What you're going to do is you're going to balance the amounts over here. Like these should be your account numbers or your account balances. And then if you add up all of the amounts in your available columns, that should equal what's sitting in your bank account. And so that's how you can do a little audit. That's the auditor in me. That's it, y'all. 5 reasons. Gives you flexibility. It's an active budgeting tool. Zero-based budgeting is its standard. It links to your bank account, but also lets you enter in transactions manually so it can impact your budget immediately. And it forces you to only budget with the money that you have. Hey, as a reminder, if this is kind of overwhelming or you're like, ain't nobody got time for that, I'm not doing all that, hit us up at powerfulpeopleplan.com. Book a complimentary consultation. Let's chat. Let's see how we can help support you on your journey. Sometimes it's not worth it to people to kind of get in the weeds. We have a complete budgeting outsource option for you, where you can let us get in here and categorize those transactions and move that money around for you. Learn more about it at powerfulpeopleplan.com. Feel free to like our channel as well as drop any comments that you may have or requests for videos, and hopefully we'll be able to make those for you in the future. All right, that's about it. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.